What's going on, everybody? KSA Kris here, the Real Estate Blitz, and I'm excited today. So we're going to be running live, and we got Jeff Cohn on. So if you aren't excited about this one, you should be, because let me tell you, Jeff is hot fire. Now, a lot of the people that know me or follow me, and actually I'm going to say sriracha because it's like got some flavor too. So a lot of people that watch me, know me, or follow me, you guys are doing the same things that I do or I am doing as far as building a team. And if you didn't know, Jeff Cohn has the #1 team in Nebraska, and he's the top 1% in the nation when it comes to teams. So here, I'm excited about this for me personally because I have a team. I'm building a team, and here's an opportunity where I can talk to a guy that not only like has done it, but is like exceeded way beyond like what the average, hero, which is what we all are, the average hero does when they actually build a team. So very excited. So Jeff, man, excuse me, John, what's going on?
No, it's funny. A lot of people call me John because when they read my name, Jeff Cohn, they see the J and then the OHN at the end of the name.
Right.
So that happens all the time. It's really funny, but
it's weird. I literally just did it myself.
it's like a dyslexia thing. I don't know. I honestly, it happens like every day. No worries, man. Super jacked to be on this today. I know you got some people watching live. The best part about streaming live is you guys can ask us any questions you want. And I know Kyle,
Mhm.
there. Kris and I have both done a ton of team building. We failed forward. Kris and I were talking off record a little bit about some of the business ventures that haven't always worked out the best way, which I know a lot of you probably would love to hear about that as well. So I'm happy to share that. But yeah, we took our team from 70 to over 700 real estate transactions in the last 6 years. This year, we'll end about 650 sides this year in Omaha. Our average sales price with our flagship team is $217,000. I've got 40 agents cranking out those deals, and all the credit goes to them, man. I know for anyone that owns an organization, it's all about their sales force and their admin staff that support them. And I would never be where I am today without the help of the team around me. So that's always something I make sure to mention at the beginning of every single podcast that I'm on.
That's awesome, man. And here's the thing, like I'm listening to you. I'm like, oh my God, there's so many, like we literally could spend hours. There's so many different topics that we could talk about. And when I was sitting here and trying to figure out, okay, so what do we want to talk about? What isn't being talked about? And, I'm sitting there. You just said something that was like gold. You talk about the admin staff, who to hire, when to hire them. I mean, there's just so many different topics, but I had to pick one topic because I think when you talk about building a team, just one topic alone can literally exhaust you. Not just listening to it, not just like I always do it. You're going to see me taking notes. I take notes whenever I do this stuff, but taking notes and then trying to implement it, like that is exhausting. So I had to pick one thing. And I think the one thing that I really want to talk about is it is a keystone. It is a keystone when you talk about building a team. It's a keystone in having a team, and it's really marketing and marketing strategies. Not just marketing strategies, but this is something that's beneficial. What I want to talk about is zero to low cost marketing strategies, because it's not just somebody that is like a new team. Right? If somebody's building a new team, how do I get, more leads for less money? It's even somebody that has a killer team that's killing it. That's huge. Anytime you can save a little extra money, and that adjusts everything overall, so you can give back more to the team. You can give back, whether it's to the community through charity or just continue to expand and grow your business and dominate new markets. So to me, that's huge, man. And that's what I personally would like to talk about if you're really good with that.
I've done that before. I would love to talk about that. It's one of my favorite topics, and it's what's propelled my team to where we are today. I spend $10,000 a month on internet lead generation. Our top 3 sources are Google Ads, Facebook Ads, and Craigslist. We've tried everything and anything else under the sun. For us, the biggest thing is return on investment as well as return on time. Not all lead sources are created equally. So we track with every lead how long it takes an incubation period, what our average conversion ratios are, what our average sales price is derived from each lead source, both on the listing side versus the buy side. And then, of course, what our ultimate cost is per lead acquisition and net converted lead. So right now we're spending around $500 for every converted lead, and our average commission in Omaha is around $6,000. For any lead that my company generates, I know there's a lot here you can break down after I'm done talking, but my company will split every internet lead 50-50 with the agent. So I spend $500 to generate $6,000 in gross revenue, $3,000 in adjusted gross revenue, which is about a 5x return. The beauty, though, based on zero basing, is I've created strategic marketing partners through MSAs with lenders and vendors. So lender, title, insurance, home inspection, home warranty, and they're 100% covering all of my outbound lead generation costs. all that money goes to Boomtown. Boomtown's the CRM we've chosen to align with, and then Boomtown deploys that money to Google ads and Facebook ads. So I have a lot of strategies in both the lead gen part, who gets the leads, who works the leads, how to convert the leads. We can go anywhere you want to go, man. Just let me know.
Good. So I'm going to break down some of the stuff you just said, and then we're going to go just keep going deeper. So the one thing, I don't know if anybody else heard what I heard, but I'm actually pretty excited about it. The one major thing that I heard is tracking. You're actually keeping touch and realizing what's coming in, what's going out. Now, what's funny is I've heard different variations. I know Grant Cardone's like, screw tracking, spend money, just go after it, and it gets all ramped up, and he's like, you got to spend money, make money. But at the same time, I think to not track what's going on so you can continue to replicate or scale your business is almost insane. So how did you come to the concept of man, I need to track? And then how did you build your overall tracking system?
Yeah, great question. So in the beginning, everything was Excel. I got my degree in business and took some stats classes in college. So I was actually able to use something I learned in college in my real estate business. I started young too, probably similar to you. I was 24 when I got licensed. I started my team when I was about 27, 28, and that was back in 2011. And right out of the gate, when I was out making prospecting calls, calling on expired leads, calling on FSBO leads, generating leads off Craigslist and off Facebook, I was always not only looking at how much money I was spending, more importantly, how much time I was spending. So every day I would do outbound prospecting. I would look at what bucket was I prospecting in. Was it my sphere of influence? Was it outbound prospecting where you're actually making active calls or doing an open house with someone that doesn't know you? Or was it internet lead generation? And then I'd be able to determine how much time was it taking me and how much money was I putting towards it. And everything started getting broken down into where's my greatest return on time, where's my greatest return on investment. And I did all of that in Excel. Flash forward to launching my real estate team. I knew I was going to spend money to generate leads for my agents, and I needed to make a profit off those leads I was generating. So it wasn't just a function of getting them leads, but also making sure they converted at a high enough level that made sense for me to make money. And once I saw that I could control where those buyer leads went, and I say control loosely because we have to be within RESPA compliance, but I knew I could send a certain percentage to my lender vendor partners and get my lender vendors excited about partnering with me. The light at the end of the tunnel said, Jeff, you'll never have to spend another dime on marketing again, as long as you're able to continue to create value with those lender vendor partners and send the leads that way. And so we started tracking everything in what we call our return on investment tracker, which was a function of our Excel spreadsheet. Flash forward to today, we invested in another product that does all of this for us called Sisu, SISU.co. If anyone wants to learn more about Sisu, you can go to jeffsfavoritetools.com, and I have a little rabbit hole that will get you your registration fee waived if you did decide to sign up. It's $30 a month for an individual agent and like $300 a month for a team, but essentially it does all the analytics for you. So you actually can derive your return on investment, return on time, where all your leads come from every year. And so for us, we want our agents when they first start to do a third of their business from each lead category that I just mentioned. But after their first 12 months, they can see where they have their strengths and where they have their weaknesses. Some agents just work sphere, some just work internet, some just work prospecting. I think everyone should do a little bit of all three. But then when you figure out where can you spend the least amount of time and make the most amount of money, that's the question every agent should be asking. And that's how you should determine where you spend your time next year as we start goal setting going into 2019. Awesome. Sorry, man. That was a short question. Long answer.
Oh, no, I love it because I'm sitting, like I said, I'm over here just writing out a bunch of stuff. One more time for Sisu, where can they find that as far as Jeff's favorite?
JeffsFavoriteTools.com. It's going to push you to my coaching company. I'm wearing the hat today, Elite Real Estate Systems. We have 150 coaching clients, trying to get that to over 300 by the end of next year. And we coach individual agents and we coach teams. So you can find more information about that as well. But there's tons of third-party companies I work with, just like you work with. Like Dotloop for teams, Boomtown, 1,000 calls a day, which is our third-party call center out of the Philippines, and then, of course, Sisu. So I want to give access to all the same great companies that I work with. I want to give access to the listeners as well today. So go check those out, you guys. There's a lot of great value there.
Good stuff. And it's funny because I'm taking other notes and I keep reminding myself, as far as you start spouting off stuff and I'm like, okay, accountability, blah, blah. And I'm like, nope, we can't talk about that today. We can't, because I just want to, because especially I think that's one of the biggest challenges for a lot of team leads is great. Now I'm producing, I'm creating, which today we're talking about zero and low cost marketing strategies and how to bring in those leads. But I mean, everybody's like, well, how do I hold them accountable? So my last team, when I had transition and created the brokerage, we started, I hired a couple ISAs. They went through everything, and it turned out we had lost about $400,000 in commission because we weren't holding our agents accountable enough to actually just hammer out the people to ensure that they're going for the close. They're going out and doing the appointments. And I'm like, holy crap. And that was in 6 months, $400,000 in commission in 6 months we lost.
Dude,
so
yeah,
it's unreal.
The thing that's really surprised me, Kris, is a lot of real estate teams, when they think about conversion, just saying the word lead conversion, I think they automatically go to internet leads. And the saddest part is most of the agents are losing money by not doing lead conversion when it comes to sphere engagement and the leads that they're adding through their open houses and other outbound prospecting vehicles. So everyone listening, first and foremost, you have to have a CRM, client relationship management software, where you plug in your sphere, your prospecting leads, and your internet leads to give you the greatest return on your investment, which is your time and your money, and get you the greatest ROI. So that's been a big focus of ours, is helping our agents from an accountability standpoint work all those leads from those different buckets the same way so they can build relationships of trust so those people end up working with them. We tracked every person we put into our system last year. We had 2,000 leads a month. About 24,000 leads went into our CRM last year. I have over 200,000 people in it today that I mail to every 2 weeks. We'll talk about some of the marketing strategies in a second. But we were able to convert around 1.5%, which seems crazy low. But with that many people that we bring in, it's actually not a bad conversion ratio. I hear of a lot of teams that are 0.5% or even 0.25 of 1%.
0.5% ain't bad either.
And it ain't bad, especially in your price point. You know,
exactly.
You
know, if you're pushing enough out, 0.5%, you know, if you're actually getting out there and getting enough engagement, 0.5% ain't bad, especially at the right price point. Like for us, we usually sit around anywhere from 1 million. We've been moving heavy into the higher million range, but really 700,000 and above is what we sit at. But really, we've been hanging out in the 1 million to 7 million price range for our properties now. So I'll take 0.5% on that all day.
Amen, dude. I totally agree. One of the things that's been fascinating to us is we track incubation. So we want to know, out of every lead source, how long does the average lead that goes under contract sit in the database before it goes under contract, which teaches us about the long-term relationships we need to engage in. That's an action word. It's a verb. Engage with your leads to build value, offer value, show value. And you have to do that by creating a relationship of trust. So day one's obviously important. You put the lead into the system, but what you give them after that is what gets them to want to work with you, and more importantly, refer business to you. Our average time in our system before it goes under contract is 5 months, which to us was mind-blowing. Year after year, that became the average. And we're like, that's such a long time. Why are so many other agents not wanting to work leads after the first day they talk to them? And the reason is they don't want to put in the WORK that it takes to have successful conversion. And so that accountability function, which I know we're not going to talk about, has been a game changer for my team. I pay a guy $84,000, not just a guy, a business partner of mine, dear friend of mine, Andy Cuny. He's my direct report who runs all of the accountability for my Omaha team. He gets $84,000 a year, and he sits down with every agent every week for 20 minutes, and we track their KPIs, their key performance indicators, and hold them accountable to those things on a weekly basis to help them be the best version of themselves so they can realize their dreams.
Right. That's awesome, man. And you know, and I knew this was going to be a challenging one for me because there's so many great things to talk about, you know? So I'm like, crap, we got to do multiple interviews on this. So, okay.
Let's dive into these 3 buckets, dude. Let's talk sphere of influence first.
Okay. Sphere of influence. Let's do it.
Topic, okay. So from the beginning, it's like the Bible, 2011, a close friend of mine I'd gone to college with. He's now an owner of Viral Marketing and a co-business partner of mine in 1,000 Calls a Day. His name's Frank Klesitz. He's a genius mastermind. I've learned so much from him, but he said something to me that I'll never forget, and it's helped my business grow enormously. He said, build your own Google. And what he meant by that is back in 2011, everyone was about SEO, search engine optimization, gaming the Google formula, figuring out how to be on the top rankings. And it's awesome, but it's a very hard game to play today. There's too much competition. So instead of gaming SEO, you just buy ads, and that still works. Most markets, people can still do that and get a pretty great positive return. But his point was, well, what if Google went away, which it won't? There will always be some type of a search engine. But what if you didn't need that search engine because you had every name, phone number, and email address in a database? And I'm like, well, that's not going to happen. Omaha has 1 million people in the surrounding areas. That would take a lifetime. Well, here I am 7 years later with over 200,000. There's probably 250,000 people in my database. I don't even know if I look up on Wikipedia, there's probably not even 250,000 homes. But these are all the people that have registered on my website or my agents have added when they've joined my team over the last 7 years. So everyone listening has a database, or should, at least a few people. Mine's just a lot bigger than yours. I use Viral. Every 2 weeks, I create a video of value that I think my people would find valuable, which speaks to the real estate market, speaks to investing, whatever the topic is at that time that I think would be applicable. And I send them a video. You can see examples at omahaselite.com. If you go out there and click on our blog page, you can see examples of what I've sent out. Viral does all of this for me for $525 a month. So I create the videos. They actually come into my office. You can fly into Omaha and they'll shoot your videos as well. They're brick and mortar. They have 60 employees in Omaha, but their headquarters is in San Diego. I don't know if you're familiar with these guys. So I'll shoot out a video every 2 weeks. And then out of the 200,000 people, they send me a click report of who clicked on my call to action. And then I send that to my virtual assistant. My virtual assistant thanks that person for watching the video, asks the person if they need any more information. Assuming the person says yes, then they kick it out to whoever the lead's attached to, which they see on the back end of our CRM. There's not a person we work with in our database that's not attached to an agent. So for $525 a month and a virtual assistant who I pay $1,800 a month to, that, you know, so net we're now at like $2,400. We're able to generate 5, 6, 7 leads every single month by scrubbing this huge database of people. So that's a really inexpensive solution that everybody listening today should, I think, do. And you don't have to use Viral. There's other companies, BombBomb. You can do it on your own. Use vertical response. You know, Constant Contact. There's tons of email server solutions for you guys out there.
Absolutely. I know I'm a huge fan of BombBomb. Actually, I think I sent you a quick BombBomb video earlier today.
You did, dude.
Yeah, man. I like BombBomb. I'm a big fan. And I mean, it's just a great way to connect with, you know, especially on mass. I know here in our office, the agents, you got to come up with a video per week. You got to do one per week that's going out there. And then we have a separate thing that we're doing, which I got off of Kyle Whistle, where we created a niche market, basically like a podcast radio show on Facebook. And it's just for that little market. And you got to create videos. You got to interview people. So yeah, it's great. Right on, man.
Love it, man. Yeah. So that's been easy. The other one, I hate snail mail. We don't do any print and advertising anymore at our listings. The only print we send is there's a company called TPMCO, thepersonalmarketingcompany.com. When you close on a purchase sale, you represent a buyer and they buy a property for $13. TPMCO will send them a 6x9 glossy postcard 20 times. One postcard goes out every 3 months for 5 years. You never even have to think about it. And so that's a function of our admin. We get each agent's credit card number. We set them up on account with TPMCO, and every closing, every agent on my team, 40 agents, automatically that person gets added to that agent's list at TPMCO. So all their clients are getting a little postcard from them every 3 months. And it's simple, really stuff, right? Like, hey, hope you get ready for the spring, summer's coming, like whatever. It's just simple topics, but it asks for referrals. But most importantly, it keeps us top of mind. So now everyone's getting a video every 2 weeks from Omaha's Elite. They're getting a postcard every 3 months. They're getting text messages from my agents, anyone in my agent sphere of influence. And this is the last point I'll make on sphere. Yeah. The expectation is anyone that's ever bought, sold, referred to you, or you believe would ever buy, sell, or refer to you, you should reach out to on a quarterly basis. But I would recommend an agent reaches out once a month, and you can do once by text, once by email, once by phone. And that phone call doesn't have to be you personally. You can use a third party calling, or you can use slide dial or slide broadcast to broadcast a voicemail, or you can do drop voicemail in Mojo Dialer, which is a 3-line dialer. You call 100 people an hour, 90% of people don't answer, and you just drop the voicemail. Or what I like to do is I'll do the pre-recorded voicemail to my sphere of influence, and then I'll have my virtual assistant call my sphere. 90% of the people don't answer, they drop my voicemail, and my sphere thinks I just left them a voicemail. And it's interesting. Use the first name.
Yeah, because I know we use Mojo over here, and that's kind of what we've been doing as well. But it's interesting that you brought up slide dial broadcast, because we're looking into that right now. And we figured we would just basically launch off everything for the cost. It actually saves us time, energy, so we can prospect and still use Mojo to go after whether it's expired, canceled, circle dialing, or whatever. So, I mean, what are your thoughts on that? I'm just kind of curious.
So speaking to the legalities of slide, there's some legality issues. I would definitely make sure you check with your broker. Anyone listening, check with the laws with your state. Technically, you're not supposed to do drop voicemail with a dialing system. You can drop individual. So if you hire a virtual assistant, they can drop an individual voicemail through Mojo. But the slide broadcast still, in my opinion, is in a gray area. So be careful to anyone listening. Be careful with everything you do. Obviously, make sure it works legally in your marketplace. But we have done slide broadcasts in the past, and they work really well. What that is, for anyone that doesn't know, is essentially you could take a list of 1,000 people with 1,000 phone numbers, and you could create one voicemail that just said, "Hey, it's Jeff Cohn. Just wanted to wish you a happy holiday. Been thinking a lot about you. If there's anything I can do to help you out next year, let me know. My number is 402-452-0642. And then boom, you push a button. Every one of those people's phone numbers gets a voicemail. So it shows missed call on their phone. It automatically goes into their voicemail inbox, and they think that was a special voicemail you left them.
Yep.
That's it in a
That's
nutshell.
cool.
So imagine all the people you can touch. And then the other last free strategy for engaging your sphere of influence is Facebook Messenger. I like Facebook Messenger because people think like if you drop me a Facebook message right now, I'd think it was you. No one's using it to spam, but you could hire your virtual assistant. You could create a template Facebook message and have your virtual assistant pop that out. And you can do 50 a day before you get banned. Speaking from experience. So I could have my personal assistant every month reach out to 50 of my best clients or 50 people that I think would be beneficial for me to stay in contact with and just say, hey, Kris, I was thinking about you. People don't do that enough. Kris, what up, dude? Hey, I was just thinking about you yesterday. Hit me up sometime. We'll go grab happy hour. Just little things like that. And you go back to like Michael Mayer's book, 7 Levels of Communication. He talks about the best strategies to stay engaged with your sphere of influence by creating value for them in their life, for the business pursuits that they're involved in. And that has to be the mindset of the agent who wants to earn more business. You earn it by giving. You don't asking, you don't earn it by receiving. So think in all the messaging you send out, how is it helping them? And if you are the one receiving that message from your chiropractor or your trainer or whatever the case would that be valuable content to you?
Right. No doubt, man. So that covers Sphere. And I'm actually kind of curious to get into Craigslist.
All right.
Because Craigslist is like one thing I absolutely have personally never explored. And I've had multiple, friends. They're like, man, you got to get on it. And maybe it's a fear thing. I'm not really sure. But I mean, I'm curious for Craigslist specifically.
So here's the shocker. And like, if your market doesn't have a Craigslist, don't stop listening. It applies to any of the systems you've got in each marketplace. So some cities don't use Craigslist. Like that's not the big thing. Some people are using Nextdoor now for selling products. Some people use Facebook. I mean, there's a lot of different options, but Craigslist died for a while because they no longer allowed HTML, active HTML with redirect links. It was against Craigslist policy, but we still can post. They used to have bots that wouldn't even let you input an HTML, even though it wouldn't make a live link. The bot wouldn't even allow you to put a URL. Well, now you can put URLs again. So the mindset behind it is there's still people that go to Craigslist because of what? They think it's a good deal. They think they're going to find a deal on a motorcycle. They're going to find a deal on a dresser. They're going to find a deal on a house. And so Craigslist has a section that's real estate listed by broker. And you can search property by price now in most marketplaces. I think you can even run ads in some marketplaces. So from the beginning of launching my team in 2011, we started posting to Craigslist. And the way we did it is most states require that the broker gives you permission to post houses onto Craigslist. There's not IDX syndication on Craigslist. So you can't legally go post somebody else's listing. You can't even post your listings without your broker's approval. And so what I did, I have a big brokerage shop, not that I own, that I work at in Omaha, Berkshire Hathaway. We have like 800 agents. My broker said any agent that gave us permission to post their houses to Craigslist, he was totally fine with it. We just needed email verification. So we did pizza and beer call night for 3 hours. Anyone that got 10 people to say yes got a $100 gift card. It took us maybe an hour and a half, and we had permission from over 100 agents. And you add up the total of all their listings. It was about 400 listings that it accounted for. So we hired this company in the Dominican Republic, Alberto. His link is also at jeffsfavouritetools.com. He costs like a couple $100 a month, dude, like $250 a month. And he remotes into a laptop that you have to leave in your office because Craigslist is smart and they track where the person's at that goes to post. You have to be within a certain geographical range. So you log into a computer from several different accounts every single day and post around as many houses as you want to pay for, but around 50 to 100 houses a day. You want to have at least 25% of all the homes get posted in your Craigslist. So if your Craigslist only has 100 houses, then you want around 25 or 50. If your Craigslist has 1,000 houses, you want around 250 to 500. And then you want depth in your postings as well. So when someone does their search from 200 to 250,000, the more homes you have in there that were posted today, yesterday, the day before, of course, those will all pop up based on the time that those were added to Craigslist. And then the call to action needs to take them to a squeeze page. So ours will have one picture of the house with the details, and it'll say, take this URL and put it in your search. Like we have to pick certain words, and they do all this for you. You don't have to do it.
Right.
Then they'll redirect to your landing page, which is a squeeze page, which then gives you their contact information. Out of all of my lead generation strategies, Craigslist, it has the greatest return on investment because it's $400 a month, and we close like 2 years ago, we closed like 63 sides off of Craigslist. It's gone down a little bit because more agents have heard me talk about it probably in my backyard. But I think we're still around like 25 or 30 deals a year.
That's awesome. That is unbelievable. Okay, so now you got me sparked. I am going to explore Craigslist. Like to me, that's like a no-brainer. No-brainer. And not only that, say it one more time because as soon as I log off, I'm jumping on here. So
Jeff's favorite tools. Jeff's favorite tools.
Yeah. Okay, good. Because I'm checking it out once I get off. Okay, so we talked about Sphere. We've talked about Craigslist. What do you want to talk about next?
Dude,
I'm a student right now. I'm a
sphere
student.
No, please. Sphere of influence, outbound prospecting, and internet leads. So Craigslist is a function of the internet leads. So let's stay on internet, and then we'll end on prospecting. So when it comes to internet, I mentioned Google. One of the things we've done specifically with Facebook ads is we can take Viral Marketing and Boomtown have partnered with me to help me find the URLs for every person, or email addresses for every I don't even know how they freaking do it. I don't know the tech lingo. Kyle Whistle would know. Yeah. But every person that comes into my website via a Google search, which we get around 24,000 visitors a month that are new visitors redirected by a Google ad. 10% of those people end up signing up on my website. That's where a majority of our leads come from, 2,000 leads a month. Well, what happens with all those other people that don't sign up? Obviously, they go off to other people's websites or go work with a different agent. And so I retarget that entire list that didn't sign up on Facebook. So the only people my ads are going after on Facebook are people who've already done a Google search and Googled Buy House Omaha, Sell House Omaha, etc. And every 30 days, we scrub that list. So we delete out everybody from the last 60 days ago, and we start with the last 30. And so that's really helped improve the quality of the leads we are able to generate off Facebook. For anyone that hasn't done Facebook ads or Google ads, I mean, they're hard to convert. It's a 0.5% or 1%, but you're only paying about, in my market, it's about $1 a click. It takes $10 to get a lead. It takes 50 leads to get a sale. And that's where, every 50 leads, you get one sale. That's $500 to generate that lead, but you're handing those off to agents. So it's helping them build their sphere. My agent only pays me the 50-50 the first time. Then it becomes part of their sphere of influence. So for a newer agent, you can help build their sphere. And I'm not even paying for the leads. I'm able to partner with other people. And the other beauty with that is I'm only converting 1%, but I've had lenders and vendors who've logged into my Boomtown, and they can mass email, they can call, they can hire callers, and et cetera. They're able to convert 2-3% outside of the leads my team is able to represent. They're still able to go out and pick up more business off of it. So it helps improve my relationship with them too, because it brings them more value.
So that's the fourth time you brought it up. So I feel like we got to get to it. Lenders and vendors, lenders and vendors, lenders and vendors. Now, Kris Waters, I've chatted with him a few times now, and actually he sent me, he mailed me one of his books, and he's like, Kris, you got to read this book. And actually it was a huge, huge thing for me to read through it. And he talks about lenders and vendors too. So I think it's huge, because you're talking about, like, literally you have other people carrying the cost to produce you money. So tell us about that.
Yeah, dude. So the way I thought of it, when I first signed up with Boomtown in 2011, at the time, Boomtown was like, hey, dude, you don't have to pay for this whole platform, because Boomtown's not cheap. They're the Mercedes-Benz. I mean, they're the Ferrari of lead gen systems out there and CRMs, but I wanted the best. I knew I was going to build the number one team. I told agents in interviews when I was an individual agent that within 10 years, I'd have the number one team in Nebraska. I did it within 5. We've been the number one team the last 5 years. I'm also the number 2 team at Berkshire Hathaway, blah, blah, blah. How did I get here? Well, first off, you have to have predictable revenue. Frank helped teach me that. There's a great book called Predictable Revenue that kind of speaks to this. Well, when my lenders decided, I had 2 lenders that each gave me $1,000 a month, which covered my Boomtown platform and around $500 a month in ad spend. And then I matched their ad spend because I thought that was the rule with RESPA, which today I don't think that's the rule any longer, but people still say it. It's like an urban legend. So I matched it. So we were spending $1,000 a month. Well, overnight, I had no agents, and overnight I had 300 leads. So September we launched. October, I have 300 registered leads, and I would have never believed it if it wasn't happening to me, because I'm like, how are these real people? Like, this has to be bull crap. They're real people. There's just all these people got forced to give me their contact info. And so I was like, holy crap, I need agents. And within 2 months, I hired like 6 agents. Well, the more agents I hired, the more leads I needed. And we found there's this point of diminishing returns when it comes to internet leads that are assigned to an agent. 30 leads is that number. You give them 15 leads, they'll convert every 2 months. You give them 30 leads, they'll convert 1 a month. You give them 60 leads, they'll convert 1 a month. So we found that 30 is the number. So when people say, when do I add my next agent? My answer is, how many leads do you generate? You add your next agent when you have an additional 30 leads to give to an agent. Right. And so now my team's 40 people. I only have 30 people that take a lead day. My team's biggest dysfunction is I have too many leads, and I'm trying to find more agents to work the leads. And I'm struggling finding agents that want to work internet leads, because Sphere is so good right now in a seller's market. My guess is as things start softening, it'll go to a neutral market, back to a buyer's market, and agents are going to beg me for leads. And I make more money in a buyer's market because I charge a larger split that benefits my company off of those buyer leads that are coming in. A majority of internet leads you generate are going to be buyer leads, not seller leads.
Right. You know, it's funny. We're actually in a buyer's market out here right now, and I'm just trying to throw as much money at lead generation as I can. I'm just running with it. So right on. And,
Nice,
you
dude.
know, it's so when you talk about vending partners, I know you had mentioned lenders, but you also mentioned the very first time you brought it up. I don't think enough agents are creative. Now, I know for us, we look at this is the question I always ask: who's making money off of us?
Thank
Who's
you.
making money off of us? And that's the way I look at it. So if you're making money off of us, I'm not saying you got to give us money, but I'm saying you need to find a way to bring value because so if you're a termite company, there's hundreds of termite companies. So I want to work with somebody that's going to be good, but they're also going to bring value to us.
So here's the deal: is not all of lender vendors are created equal. They don't all make the same amount of net profit off of you. So you first have to understand their businesses. So like a home inspection company, let's say they charge $500. Most businesses keep 10 to 15% revenue on the gross. So you can do the math real quick. Home inspection is netting $50 a home inspection. So when you go to ask them to contribute to you, don't think they're making 500 a home inspection. They're making 50 a home inspection. The way I have that conversation, first I have to understand each person's business. So the title, insurance, and I can talk on all that today. We don't have enough time though. Lender, I know all their numbers now. So when I give them leads, I track everything. So I know over the last 7 years, every lender that's gotten a lead from my team, even lenders I'm not partnered with. I know where every inspection goes, every home warranty, every title company, every escrow company, every inspection company. I know who got all my business. So then I go to the people that got a majority of my business and I say, hey, last year it looks like we sent you 27 deals. That would have been gross revenue for you of $28,000. I know your net on that was probably around, call it $3,000. What I'd like to ask is for you to take 20% of your net revenue and put it towards marketing. But instead of going out and hosting little realtor events and sending out email blasts and putting a billboard up, I'd like you to generate leads off Google and Facebook. Look at the system that I'm using to generate these leads. It totally makes sense for you to put your money here because A, you're going to get access to all the leads you pay for in the back end of my system, and I'm going to give you a seat there. B, it's going to give you the opportunity to build relationships with my agents. So you'll be getting leads through those relationships outside of the leads that you generate to us. And I don't even know what the C would be. So I've done this over the last 7 years. And then the end of every year, we do an accounting. Anytime you're going to ask for more money, you're obviously asking for more money because you know you made them more money, but you can't legally say that. And I know this is on the record. So my cost of leads go up. So my cost of leads constantly go up. So when I ask for them to double their spend, I'm going to say, hey, my cost of leads doubled. I'm going to need you to double your contribution to our team. And it's business. I mean, business is business is business. If they're netting, if their ROI is 2x by giving you money, they'll give you money all day long. And it's the same thing for us. If we know we can send business to them, they're going to help pay for our leads. It's a no-brainer.
Absolutely. It's a money machine. It's like, you put in $1, you get 12 back. It's kind of a no-brainer. Help me scale. Let's go.
But I was with you, dude. Like everyone wanted our business. Oh, send me leads. Like everybody. And I'm like, what are you doing for me? And they'll be like, I give you great service. Well, I want to go.
Great service.
I'm like, there's lots of options for great service. So out of the 3 people or 10 people that I know that'll give me great service, who's also going to help partner with me in covering my marketing expenses?
Exactly. Who else wants to grow? You want to grow? You want to grow? You want to grow? Who wants to grow?
Right? You guys ready? You want to blow this thing up? The other thing I'll mention that has been a game changer for us, and I don't know the laws in California, because I know I've had a couple clients that I believe couldn't do this, but we charge broker fees on all of our transactions. So in Nebraska, we charge $600 every buy side contract and $1,000 every sell, in addition to the listing commission.
We can do that out here as well.
So you guys could consider, we use it 100% to cover our administrative costs, but you could also use it for your marketing expenses. So if right now you're too small to get lender vendors to contribute, or you're not getting enough money, charge a fee on your contract, call it $100, call it $200, whatever you want to charge on every buy, every sell, and then use that money for your marketing efforts as well. And that's another great way to zero base it. Let's dive into the last funnel, man. And that's outbound prospecting. So obviously we've kind of gotten into sphere engagement with TPMCO and viral blogs, bomb, whatever you choose to use. We talked a little bit about internet lead generation through Google ads, Facebook ads, CRMs, how to zero cost, low cost that. The last is outbound prospecting. This is the one that put me on the map. My first year in the business, I was 24, had a 6-month-old baby. I lived in a studio apartment. We were $50,000 in debt, both credit card and student loan debt. And I needed to make shit happen. And I would ask everybody, what would you do if you were me? And everyone's like, buy rental properties. I'm like, guys, I'm poor. I have no job. I just got done with college. Like, what are you talking about? I can't buy rental properties. So that was the advice real estate agents gave me. Yeah. And so I was like, well, dude, you can go. I ended up hiring at the time the RedX. REDX, and they provide expired and FSBO data. Today I use Vulcan 7. It's way better, in my opinion. It has a dialer built in. We don't even use the freaking dialer, though. I know I'm going down a rabbit hole. We use Logo Dialer. So I have a virtual assistant export all the expired FSBO every day from Vulcan 7, upload it into Mojo, and then my virtual assistants call on all those expired FSBOs every day. But I started doing that back in 2007, my first full year. I'm hammering the phones calling expired FSBOs. Everyone in my marketplace was like, dude, how are you getting all these listings? And I said, I'm calling expired. And everyone would ask me how. And I'd be like, well, I got to make every night. I get on a dialer. I make, about 2 hours worth of calls, which is about, at the time I was using RedX, and I don't even know what dialer. I didn't have Mojo yet. I can't remember what dialer I used. I think I was using like Skype or Ring Central or something. And I would just paste the phone numbers in. But I'd make 100 dials a night without the dialer. And they're done. Like, they'd be like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I make 100 phone calls every night. They're like, you're making 100 phone calls? Like, it blew people's minds. I'm like, dude, it's worth it. Because I figured out at the time, based on my analytics, I needed to go on 3 listing presentations to be able to get 1 listing. And if 1 listing would sell, I'd make $8 grand. Like, I figured it all out. And I was like, I'm making $1,000 an hour on these phone calls. Right. Like, all these other agents are struggling. It was a buyer's market at the time. They're struggling, to get their listing sold. But there were tons of expireds out there, and that's how I kind of got myself on the map. So for anyone listening, like, you want to talk low cost, no cost, expired FSBO, that's free. That data is on your MLS right now. You can sort based on expired FSBO or expired every day. You go to FSBO.com, you can get all that information. But I'd say go to the RedX. It's like $60 a month. They'll do all of it for you. They'll scrub the list every day, so you're not calling on somebody that's relisted. And then just listed, just sold is another no-brainer. Pull up the listings your team sold, your brokerage sold, call everyone else in the neighborhood. You do that with Mojo Dialer. A Mojo line's $156 a month. And then to pay the extra, cold directory, home search, whatever, voodoo magic, maybe is $1,000 a year. I don't even know.
And it's actually pretty darn effective. I mean, we circle dial on every listing, every sold. And I think Adam, it's funny, Adam scheduled, how many listing appointments did he do yesterday, hon? 5? Was it 8 yesterday? So he did 8 yesterday. Adam did 8, just circle dialing, and he's got this killer script, and it's just fire. And basically he uses Mojo. He circle dials and says, yeah, hey, we just sold property right down the street. This is where it was. And, I got all these buyers and they're excited. And some of them are cash deals, we're looking, and they're like, oh yeah, I might want to sell. And it's just crazy. And he uses that same script through Mojo as well he's doing that with expireds now. He's doing it with expireds because, again, we've moved towards a buyer's market in our area. So it's like, man, stack them up. Stack them up.
Stack them up. So the expired conversation is this. Let me share my script real quick. This has always worked for me. This is what I teach people to do. There's an elephant in the room. The elephant is everyone's calling this expired lead. In your market, it's probably 50 people. My market, it's 10 or 12. So I call and say, hey, have you been getting bombarded by calls today? Well, I apologize that all those other agents bothered you. I'm here to solve your problem. And your problem is your house was on the market and didn't sell. My guess, it was because of the real estate agent you chose to partner with, but I haven't looked into it yet. Was wondering if I could meet you in person to kind of look at how things have gone over the last 6 months and figure out why the house didn't sell and show you how I think I can get it sold for you. Just that confidence, that took me 10 seconds. And people are like, okay. They're like, yeah, no one said that yet. And then FSBO, everyone gets scared to call FSBO sellers. I'll call FSBO sellers and say, hey, I have a bunch of real estate agents called you to try to get your listing. And they all say yes. So you address elephant in the room. And then I'll say, well, I'm just like all of them. Like, I'll make a joke. I'm just like all of them. I want to get your listing too, but I want to earn it. I want to give you the same value I give to my active sellers before you ever choose to work with me. And if you decide what I offer is valuable and you think you'll make more by working with me than working on your own, I'd love to earn your business. Would you have 30 minutes? I could talk to you a little bit more about it.
Love it, man.
I give them access to my photographer, my videographer, my stager, my moving truck, all these value adds. They have to pay for it, but I give them access to my network, and they have my moving truck for free. And my only agreement with them is that they have to allow me to call and check in with them every 2 weeks. And if they decide to list with someone, they'll list with me. And you can even have a FSBO seller sign a listing agreement with you like you can have them sign it and fill it out, but not have a start date on it. So essentially they've promised themselves to you when they choose to list.
Right. That's awesome. That is freaking amazing. And, we're coming to an end here, so I don't want to keep you on too long. And the thing is, I have a feeling that if I ask any more questions, we're going to be stuck here another hour. Because, I mean, man, and it's like, I'm going to have to get with you again and maybe like in a month or two, because there's just so many topics that are running through my head right now. Yeah, and the thing is, so I throw it on Facebook Live, but when this goes on to YouTube, that's the big one where everybody wants to see. I know the Kyle Whistle one, there's thousands of people that have already watched it. I just interviewed him, I think like a week ago. Cool. And so it's just one of those things where there's going to be so many questions that pop up, and I may just like email them to you, and I'll do a video based off of what you said, or who knows, maybe we'll get back together. Me personally, say it one more time though, because I keep coming back to it because I'm looking forward to get on here.
I know. Yeah. So this is my thing. So I started the team and I had a ton of success, Kris, over the last couple of years. And I wanted to have more impact and influence on agents across the country. So my big impactful speech or lecture that I give is to teach agents to stop selling real estate, take control of their business, and learn how to create leverage so that they can continue to scale their team out. So many agents are still selling, even agents making a lot of money. They're still in the day-to-day grind. I want them and all of us to have the freedom to choose to not have to be in that grind if we don't want to. Similar to how you and I have gotten to experience that with our teams, even though we've had ebbs and flows. And so we created a coaching company about 18 months ago called Elite Real Estate Systems. So that Jeff's favorite tools lives at eliterealestatesystems.com. We have individual agent training, which today is $17 a month for 8 hours of live stream content out of my office in Omaha. And you get a video library of all of those episodes as well, because I have that same mindset you do. If it's valuable, record it, then you never have to say it again.
Right.
So right now it's $17. As of January 1st, 2019, we're increasing the price by 500%. It's going to go up to $97 a month. If you buy in now, you grandfather in for life. So buy in before the end of December, $17 a month for agents. We have a team leader product teaching agents how to exit the day-to-day grind, build and scale a team based on focusing on culture, leads, lead conversion, accountability systems, and strategies. Today, that's $497 a month. You get unlimited seats for your agents in our agent training. And then it also gives you one high-level call every week with one of our coaches in a group coaching session on Zoom. We host all of this and stream all of this from our website, and you can learn more about all this. That price is $497. It's going to be doubling starting next year. It's going to go to $997. And
Nice.
if you sign up before the end of the month, it sounds like a huge 1-800 pitch. I guarantee you'll be grandfathered in for life as long as you stay a client of ours. So go check it out, eliterealestatesystems.com. You can set up a demo call with us. And go check out all those other links, jeffsfavoritetools.com, if you want to look into any of these other businesses. But I want to bring more value as well to your listeners and your audience. So if there's anything you guys need from me, or you want to bring me back on your show and go deeper in any other topic, I'm more than happy to be a part of this, you guys. I appreciate the opportunity.
I appreciate it. And not only that, but I know whenever I do different interviews, especially if it's somebody where I'm like, wow, okay, this is cool, I'm checking it out myself. I've actually tried a lot of different programs or different products, and then I end up doing other interviews based off of what I've experienced. So I'm going to be jumping on today. I'm probably going to do a couple videos, and just to kind of back up what we've experienced here today with this one and say, hey, this is where I went. Go check it out. I did. This is what I got from it. Here's how it helped me.
Viral marketing, 1,000 calls a day, Elite Real Estate Systems, sisu.co. .loop for teams, Boomtown. These are all the companies I'm using, brother. So let's do this.
All right, right on. Hey, thank you so much for being on. I appreciate it. Hold on one second. So I'm going to do a quick shout out to everybody. Hey, everybody, thank you so much, especially for those of you, because, you know, we got a lot of people that are watching on Facebook, but it's really YouTube and the people that have just been so freaking loyal that have watched me on YouTube. Do me a favor, like, share, comment. You know, this was a great freaking interview. Like, share, comment, drop me comments, because you know I always answer you. If I don't answer the same day, I usually get you within a day or two. It's just because you got to keep in mind, I'm still running a business over here. I'm trying to make money too, right? So like, share, comment, keep engaging, and realize, you know, this is the reason why I started the Real Estate Blitz, is so I could help the community. We need to get better at what we do. We need to become better agents. Otherwise, Purple Brick is going to overrun us. Otherwise, Redfin's going to overrun us. We have to do better. Be better. Okay, get out there. This is why I bring on coaches. This is why I'm bringing on people that actually know what they're talking about, people that are building, people that are winning. That's why we're doing this. Okay, so you can become a better agent. Let's keep moving. Be a business owner. Don't be an employee. So that's all I got today. I appreciate y'all. Okay, say Kris here, Real Estate Blitz. I'm out. And hold on one second, Jeff. I'm gonna get you right when we log out. All right, we'll see y'all later.